At the close of World War II, a new battle began, not on the fields of Europe, but in the labs and minds of the world's top scientists. As the Nazi regime crumbled, its most valuable resource wasn't just land or machinery, it was its scientific brainpower. Welcome to the story of Operation Paperclip, the covert operation where former Nazi scientists were recruited by the United States government to help shape the future of American technology, and to ultimately win the Cold War. As World War II ended in 1945, the world was plunged into a new conflict, the Cold War, a battle for supremacy between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both superpowers were eager to outmaneuver each other, not just in politics and military strength, but in scientific advancements. And they each recognized the treasure trove of knowledge held by German scientists, many of whom had worked under the Nazi regime. The United States, desperate to gain the upper hand, launched Operation Paperclip, a covert program designed to bring these scientists to America. These scientists were experts in fields ranging from rocketry to medicine, physics, and chemical weapons. The most famous among them was Wernher von Braun, a brilliant rocket engineer who had been instrumental in developing the V-2 rocket for Nazi Germany. This weapon had caused devastation across Europe, but von Braun's true passion lay in space exploration. The United States saw his potential, and despite his past associations with the Nazi Party and his involvement in using forced labor, he became the centerpiece of America's space ambitions. The ethics of Operation Paperclip were murky, to say the least. The program was initially set up to exclude ardent Nazis or anyone involved in war crimes. However, as the Cold War intensified, this policy was bent, if not entirely broken. Many scientists with questionable pasts were given a new identity, their records sanitized to hide their wartime activities. The U.S. government justified this moral compromise by pointing to the strategic necessity of keeping this knowledge out of Soviet hands. For the scientists, this was a golden opportunity. Many had little loyalty to Hitler's ideology, viewing their work through the lens of scientific progress rather than politics. They were eager to continue their research, and the U.S. provided them with the resources and freedom they needed. For men like von Braun, this was a chance to fulfill their dreams of space exploration, something Nazi Germany had never fully embraced. As these scientists integrated into American society, they began to make significant contributions. Von Braun and his team were instrumental in developing the Redstone rocket, which led to America's first ballistic missile. But perhaps their crowning achievement came in 1969, when von Braun's Saturn V rocket carried the Apollo 11 astronauts to the moon, firmly establishing the United States as the leader in the space race. However, the legacy of Operation Paperclip is far from simple. While it brought scientific advancements, it also raised uncomfortable questions about accountability and justice. Many of these scientists had been complicit in the Nazi war machine. Their involvement in atrocities, including the use of concentration camp labor, was often downplayed or ignored. This dark shadow hung over their achievements, complicating their legacy. Moreover, Operation Paperclip had broader implications for the Cold War itself. By recruiting former Nazi scientists, the U.S. sent a clear message to the Soviet Union. In the race for technological dominance, moral compromises could be made. The Soviets, too, had their version of Operation Paperclip, recruiting scientists from Nazi Germany to bolster their own scientific efforts. This scramble for intellectual capital fueled the arms race and deepened the divide between East and West. But beyond the immediate scientific achievements, Operation Paperclip had a profound impact on the direction of American technology and warfare. The program laid the groundwork for the modern military-industrial complex, where science and warfare became increasingly intertwined. Technologies initially developed for military purposes found their way into civilian life, from the space race to the development of early computers and jet engines. In many ways, Operation Paperclip exemplified the dual-edged sword of technological progress in the 20th century.